Give us our next one, Nick. What do we got?
Ah, yes, the Viper. This was
Didn't you buy a Viper?
I have not bought a Viper. I knew you were going to say that. I have not yet bought a Viper. But there was some news recently that the head of SRT went on a podcast, and he said specifically that the Viper will not make a return, which is something I actually agree with, and I'm happy about. And I'll tell you why. All Vipers are big, naturally aspirated 10-cylinder cars with manual transmissions. They didn't change the recipe. It got more sophisticated, it got better, but it didn't change from the first gen, which, damn, God, looks so cool.
You got to do it.
Which I like.
Yeah, but Kenan, there was a time...
if they were going to bring... we talked about this before. You said, if they bring it back with a V8. No, the Viper's never had a V8. It shouldn't have a V8.
Yeah, but Kenan, there was a time when the 911... was an air-cooled small rear engine.
But the 911 never went to a V8 or a four-cylinder. They called it the, they called it the 912.
In the current Porsche 911, the owner of the vehicle cannot access the engine. Okay?
Well,
that's true.
Well, yeah, a Viper customer and a Porsche customer, two very different brands of people.
But my point is that wasn't always the case. In the 60s and 70s, a Porsche owner was a tinkerer, and it was a air-cooled enthusiast of a little car, and that car is now things can change. Cars can change. Like I would be down for a Viper to return.
The Viper. I like that the Viper has not returned because I just love that it was an unbroken line of stubbornness.
Doug, you getting this? So he's not a purist over Ferrari anymore. They can make 640K EVs. But the Viper is where he draws the line. We have to protect the Viper,
Well, as a proud American, I feel that we do.
You know what? They're bringing the Rumblebee back, as we discovered. So I guess they, much like the SRT10, the Viper truck, they won't bring back the Viper nameplate, but they are basically bringing back everything else about the Viper.
Well, there is something they are talking about. So there's something that's been kind of nicknamed the Copperhead. Now, this isn't going to be a Viper, but it's going to be some ultra muscle car. I'm guessing kind of to go to toe-to-toe with the Mustang GTD and stuff like that. Yep. I have a feeling. I don't know what it's going to be.
The Copperhead's a snake. It's also a concept car that we all loved back in the day at the Scholastic book fairs. It's pretty cool. So again, they're bringing the nostalgia back with just a nameplate one step below the one that you want to see. But
I would love a Viper to come back with a V10 and a manual.
I would like a Viper to come back down the car elevator, parked right behind me, that belongs to you.
I'll make that happen. Don't you worry. I'm on it. Don't worry. It's gonna happen. But yeah. Nonetheless, I thought it was interesting. I mean, of course, we know the 5th gen Viper got killed off for safety reasons because you couldn't mount an airbag where it needed to be. That was the main reason it got killed off. Well, actually, it wasn't to do with emissions and things like that. And it was the 5th gen was awesome.
I think whatever Chrysler tells you, the 5th gen Viper got killed off because no one was buying it.
Well, yeah, which also tells you what you need. I don't know that people would buy another Viper.
I know, but you give it a nice twin turbo 6-cylinder, put in a ZF torque converter automatic.
No.
Destroy the heritage. That's what they're all doing these days. That's what everybody's doing. Do it.
Now, see, Ferrari already did it, so I'm less there's nothing I can do at this point. But the Viper, that's a concept. It doesn't exist yet. So
let's make the next gen BMW M5 go electric.
Well, that's probably going to happen, realistically. That's which
might as well already have.
But a potential Copperhead is coming, which allows them to create a sports car without losing the tradition of the Viper.
Yeah, which I'm here for. I think that it's an interesting idea and a concept, and we'll see how that ferments over time.
Dodge is killing it. They're at the top of the game. The comeback story no one expected. Dodge of Stellantis killing it.
Yeah, still wouldn't buy one. All right, what else we get?
Other than that,
I would buy one of those 3 spokes and all. God, that is a cool looking car.
It is.
I'll make it happen. Don't worry. I will make it happen.
A couple other good questions, actually. This one from Ian J. Doug, will FL5 Civic Type R values ever fall? I see dealers and on your site selling for sticker or over with some miles on them. Where do you see that market going? It's actually an interesting question because those cars, we just had a sale of the previous generation, and I was thinking this exact same thing. Kenan, pull up.
Kenan and I are both busy Googling FL5 Civic.
FL5 Civic is the FL5 Civic is the current is the current body style. And the previous one, we just had a sale of a previous one a couple of months ago in the mid to high 20s. And I was having the same thoughts, although in the mid to high 20s, you are starting to see decline. But it is interesting to me. Those cars have really, 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 really held their value well. You're looking at 2017 models at $27,000 with real miles on them, 50, 60,000 miles. And I have to assume the FL5 market will follow the market of the previous generation car, and it's going to be a slow depreciation curve. But the benefit is, if you buy one, yes, it's a high price of entry for, I think, what the car is, especially as it starts to age, but it's a very reliable car, it's fun to drive, and you don't lose much. And you really want the FL5 and not the earlier body, which is heinous.
Right. It looks less heinous than I remember them looking as time has gone on, but it's a lot of styling. It is a lot of styling.
Of the old one.
Of the earlier car, yeah.
Yeah, the FK8. I love the FL5 Civic Type R. I personally prefer the Integra, and I would suggest that, but those haven't depreciated either. The market's wise to that whole thing. Question for all from JP Fellner. What is the #1 rich guy go fast car? On this podcast, I sometimes complain about cars that rich people buy thinking that they're cool just because they're fast. And they're not cars that enthusiasts would buy. They're not enthusiast cars. And I call them rich guy go fasts because it's just a car. Rich guy goes into a dealer. He just sold a company. He's got some money. He wants people to respect him and think he's cool. So he goes and buys and I think to me, the #1 is the Maserati Gran Turismo. I think that at $240,000, whatever those cost, is like the deepest rich guy go fast. But it's a McLaren also. What else is it?
The entire modern McLaren product line, all of it. Like that's the epitome to me. Like because it shows, that I mean they're great drivers' cars, but that's not why most people buy them.
I totally agree. I completely agree. I think the 765 LT I would hold out as a little bit of an exception. I think it takes a little bit of. I think as a rich guy go fast, I think you just don't. You don't understand what makes that car special. Do you know what I mean? So you would just get a 750S because it's like, they look the same and they're both really fast. Everybody's going to think I'm cool. It requires a little bit more enthusiast capability to understand the 765 LT. Other than that, yes, the McLaren lineup.
I was going to say the SF90.
Yeah,
because it requires a certain level of unsophisticated Ferrari buyer at the moment.
Yeah, that's so true. The SF90 absolutely requires somebody who doesn't understand that they're going to get hosed. That's true.
A lot of people have moved into the modern GT3 RS. It used to be Huracans for this case, and now a lot of people buy that. And I'm not saying it's like I understand a lot of sophisticated people buy those cars too, but the number of GT3 RSs I see, and I realize we live in Southern California, but we see them a lot. They're around. Like Car Week this year, that was like the performance car we saw the most of.
Can I say something slightly triggering?
I think that enough of those sell to real enthusiasts that it's not quite on that level yet. I think that I would argue that basically no SF90s sold to real enthusiasts.
That's true.
Right?
That is true. I can't think of many.
I was thinking your 911 too, because you can't assume there's a wide variety from the hardcore track enthusiast to the rich guy go fast. But if it has a giant circle on the door with a number in it, I'm suspicious of you.
Yeah.
I think there's a high degree of probability that we won't have much in common, even if it is some special edition and you are a real enthusiast.
Unless it's a Ford GT Heritage, am I right?
Even then, we're a little questionable.
We're questioning that one. What about the Revuelto?
Unless it's number 99 and I think you're Wayne Gretzky, then I will definitely have a conversation.
Okay, this is a beautiful podcast. Gentlemen, thank you for coming. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And Nick, good luck in life.
He's going to need it.
Best of luck with your upcoming Stellantis purchase there on the island, buddy.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Are you ready for your next cool car? Sell your enthusiast car on Cars and Bids. Trading in your car to dealers means you aren't getting market value for your car, leaving you with less cash for your next fun car. Just look at our recent sales of these cool cars compared to current trade-in value. This is a trade-in offer, and this was the Cars and Bids result. This is a trade-in offer, and this was the Cars and Bids result. This is the trade-in offer, and this is the Cars and Bids result. Get started now on carsandbids.com. Sell on Cars and Bids and join the best community to sell your enthusiast car.